I'm Miriam Francois, and in this episode of Compass, I want to explore the idea of Britishness. I was born in the UK to parents who were economic migrants to this country, and yet I've never really felt British. It's clear that I'm not alone in having a complex relationship to the country of my birth, so I want to find out what it means to be British in 2017.
The people I'll meet are using their creativity to redraw British identity. I'll travel across the country to try and understand why some people feel excluded from the idea of Britishness. The artists on my journey are retelling stories of the past to build an idea of Britishness that is more reflective of the present and forge a more inclusive future. I want to try and better understand what this says about the UK and the complex relationship between people's identity and the ideas of Britishness that we find in our history books. So I've come to a school in East London to meet someone who's trying to give a more rounded picture of Britain's history. Paul Crooks is an author and historian. He aims to inspire young people to uncover more about their history.
Black history, what does it mean? The first thing that comes into your mind?
Slavery.
You think of slavery. What do you think of?
There's no positive way for slavery, but when we think about it, we've done a lot of stuff.
Come across examples where, young people have believed that black people were only ever slaves. And if we're talking about the last 400 years of history, yeah, there's a certain truth to that, but it's not the whole truth.
And when you give these sessions, what do you hope that the children will take away from them?
I'd get them to look at black culture, black history and the contribution to black British history with more appreciative eyes. Black history doesn't begin with slavery. For me, the big picture is about empowerment, and your ability to make a wider contribution to society.
That historical legacy of Britishness being tied to, if you like, kind of colonial domination with the whites at the top was never really contested. Was always there. So even in in that decolonial moment when they have the anti-colonial struggles, there's still a notion of those countries breaking away from Britain, but Britain itself staying white, which of course then raises the question, well, suppose you are black or Asian and British, what's your place within society?
If identity is about where you're from, what happens if your ancestors are written out of history?